guys, it's John, Brooklyn, Isaiah back out at the farm. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the 6 most important things that we use on our farm.
We'll have an honorable mention list at the end. They were important but didn't make it onto our top 6.
First one will be buckets.
Okay, the first one we're talking about is buckets and scoops, guys. They are super important. Jamie's mom hooked us up with a ton of buckets when we first moved up here in all sizes. We use buckets to haul our water around, so it's important for some of your buckets to have some lids. We use buckets to collect eggs. You can see some duck eggs in there from this morning. We use buckets to haul our feed out, and buckets and scoops, I guess this could be. We got a little scoop here to do our feed. That's the pig feed. We carry a bucket in the back for the ducks and chicken feed. And also Miss Rita hooked us up with these large mayonnaise containers. I don't know who in their right mind needs that much mayonnaise, but we love these scoops for our feed. So number one thing on the list for us is definitely buckets and scoops. Any containers you can use. We save a lot of plastic wares that we can use for scoops and things that are important to us. So number one, buckets. Rosie and Sassy were complaining to me that they were hot this morning, so the first thing we're gonna do before we go to number 2 on the list is we're gonna get them a pool from back here, take it over and fill up their pool. So super important, especially since we don't have a lot of water. Basically the only water we get is from our rain barrel that we installed, thank you sis, and just the spigots on the side of our house. So we have to haul water a lot of places. Having these 5-gallon buckets with the lids on it is super helpful. So number one, buckets. Let's go fill up the pool. All right, so here's Sassy and Rosie. It's getting a little warm. They got some nice shade up under the apple trees, but you can see they want this pool. So we're gonna throw them a pool in. Just gives them a nice area to cool down in. Okay, you can see how helpful those buckets were. If we didn't have those 5-gallon buckets, it would be a pain to get all that water over here. I don't know whether they wanted the pool for itching or for drinking or for whatever, but they've got it now if they need to get in there. A lot of times they'll tip over their waters and their waters get low, so if nothing else, if we're not around, they can get a drink out of here as well. Okay, so number one is buckets, scoops, anything for that use. Isaiah, what's number 2?
Number two is housing.
Housing, okay. Number 2 most important thing to have is housing. I'll post a video up at the top about our pigloos, but we have found the pigloos have worked great for us. Keeps their hay dry, gives them a bottom in the floor where they're not just laying in wet mud all the time. So for our pigs, we love the pigloos. For the chickens, I'm gonna go over here, see if old Roosty doesn't attack me. For the chickens, we've got the chickshaws, and we love them. Easy to move, that's the biggest reason why we like them. We've got probably 19 chickens in here, and they all fit. We could fit a whole bunch more in there, but the biggest reason we like the chickshaws is so they're so mobile, and we'll be moving that off. We got it open in the front in the summers. I had that boxed up in the winters when the wind was blowing really hard, just to keep some drafts off the chickens. So for the chickens, we've got the mobile chickshaws. For the pigs, we've got the pigloos, and they're both super easy to move. If you guys are able to move, you want to have something that is easy to move. If it's not easy to move, it's a big pain in the butt. I see Sassy now and Rosie both enjoying that pool. Okay guys, so number 1 was buckets. Number 2, good housing. Isaiah, what's number 3?
Number 3 is fencing.
Number 3 is fencing. To go along with our mobile housing, guys, you got to have good fencing. You don't want to be chasing your animals around. We have Premier 1 fencing. Super easy to move. This is the 24-inch hog fencing, which is super light and easy to move. Over here, we've got the 48-inch poultry netting, which is a little more difficult to move, but it's nice and high, so they're not always jumping out. As I say that, I see a chicken out over there, but whenever they get out, they seem to just want to get back in, unless it's Miss Small and Hey, they want to wander all over the place, but they're pretty cool. We don't care when they wander around.
Because they're two easy chickens to catch and super nice chickens.
Yeah.
They're not skittish. They'll just come right up to you.
Perfect. So with mobile housing, we've got mobile fencing. And if you're not able to move them, we would suggest the hog panels. And that's what we use in our farrowing hut. And we also use our hog panels, and I'll post a quick video in there when we're moving the pigs. The ones, if we're moving a long distance, we use a hog panel and we wrap it around the pig, and as you can see in this video playing, and it's easy to move the pig. So if you have to go with permanent fencing, we recommend the hog panels. Okay, so easy to move, mobile fencing makes our life super easy on the farm. Okay, so number 1, what was number 1?
Number 1 was
Buckets.
buckets.
Buckets. Number 2,
Housing.
housing. Number 3,
Fencing.
fencing. And number 4 is?
Good feeders and waters.
Okay, good feeders and waterers. Okay, what we use for the pigs, we just use these rubber, I guess, I don't know what to call them, rubber buckets, rubber pails. Super easy to use. Then the best part about them
They
is
have handles.
the handles are nice if we have to take the feeders out to fill them up. And the waterers, when they freeze, we can just flip them over, step on them. This is a feeder, but it works the same way. And we break out the ice inside the waterers. So for the pigs, we love the...
And they're super bendable, so it's easier to... So you can step on them and they won't break.
Yeah, they won't crack. So for the pigs, we like the rubber feed buckets, and those are from Tractor Supply. And let's go in and check out the baby chicks, and we'll show you what we like for the chickens. All right, I figured I'd give these guys some FaceTime here and show you what we do with the feeders in the chicken coop. I figured we'd show you this coop. There's Boudreaux in there taking an afternoon nap. I don't know if you can see him in the dark there. Hazel and Kevin, Chubbs. What's wrong, bud? So for the chickens, when we keep the chickens with the pigs, we hang a feeder up in the coop so the pigs can't get their feed. They drink out of the same water as the pigs, so the water situation is not a big deal. The best feeder we have found, there's Big Red. The best feeder we have found is these feeders right here, and we found these at TSC, I believe, as well, and they just hang right inside the coop. That way the chickens can get feed when they need it and the pigs can't get to it. All right, so now we'll go in and check out our favorite kind of water for the chickens, and they only use this when they're in the brooder. Like I said, the chickens use the same water as the pigs, the rubber pans, when they're out in the field. But in the brooder, we'll show you our favorite kind of water. Let's go check it out. Okay, so here's some of our chicken feeders we've used in the past and some we currently use. This tray feeder you can find anywhere. I have decided, well, I've realized we don't really care for this one. The baby chicks get in there and they sit on there and they try to roost and they just poop in their food all the time. We've gone to these free range hanging feeders, and that's the same one we have in the chickshaws, but it works just as fine for the baby chicks as well. They don't roost up in there as much. Every once in a while, a chick will get up in there and try to eat out of the side and poop in there, but not as often as they do on this one because they like to roost. And I think I said TSC. We actually got this kind at Rural King. And these were the first waters we had. If they're not level, they just keep leaking. Did not care for these anymore, but you live and learn, so hopefully you guys won't make the same mistake. They work, but they seem to have more problems with leaking. We went to this kind. It's the same brand as the feeder, free range 5-quart poultry drinker, and those are what we use now when we're using for the poultry. So number 4 was good feeders and waterers, and these are the feeders we have found to be more useful and some that are not as useful. So hopefully that helps some people out. But let's check out these chicks. They are a week old today. You guys remember we had the Bielefelders and we've got some Polishes. So hopefully they'll grow up for hay. Brooklyn's been checking for pasty butt. We've had some of that and we've been able to get it. We've lost 3 chickens. Called up Murray McMurray and they have refunded us. They're always super good about that. Let's take a look. Can you guys see the male Bielefelders in there? Remember, they were the auto-sexting breed. We've got 2 of those left. We lost one. Brooklyn, will you point out the males? I'm sure you can probably see it on camera now.
If they won't run away like that.
What you got there?
This is a female. You can see by the brown stripe down the back.
Yep.
And its head.
Yep.
They're darker colored than the males.
There you go.
And
Where's those males at? Can you get one? There he is.
Here's a male. You can see by the lighter colored fur and the white dot on their head.
And check out their wings. Can you put out his wing a little bit for us? Look at the brown on the wings. Super pretty down there on the side of the wings. So those are the male Bielefelders.
You can see by the brown, the lighter brown.
Yep.
And the females have darker brown.
Yep. So super cool when we're able to hatch those out. I think we mentioned this in a previous video, but we'll be able to, if people just want females, we'll know which ones. And if people want males, we can get just males for them. So that's kind of cool. All right, guys, number 5 on our top 6 most essential list. Number 5 is a
Wheelbarrow.
wheelbarrow. Let's go check it out. Okay, another big thanks to Mimi. A couple years ago, before we even came up here, we were still in Florida. The neighbors by her place threw this wheelbarrow out. And I didn't want to dumpster dive, but she talked me into it, and I'm glad I did. She put some new handles on it, got it all fixed up for me. A wheelbarrow, super helpful, guys. Moving dirt, moving old hay, manure to a compost pile. So wheelbarrow definitely on the most essential list. Okay, and the last one we use every single day. Not a lot of people have them because they're expensive, but Mimi blessed us and gave us a golf cart. So this has helped us out immensely, carrying those buckets, carrying the feeders. We use it every morning and evening when we go feed the animals, and it makes our life so easy. But if you don't have a golf cart, what you got there?
We got a...
You don't know what that is?
I forgot.
Wagon.
Wagon.
You could use a wagon as well to help you carry those buckets around. Obviously wouldn't be as efficient, but it would be better than carrying them by hand. So wagon, wagon, golf cart is number 6 on our most essential list, helping you anything you can use to carry them buckets around and make life easier. Now for the honorable mentions. Things that didn't quite make the list: hand tools, pitchforks, shovels, fence post drivers. If you are using T-posts to set up your hog panels or cattle panels, T-post drivers are a must. The best way to spend money. If you try pounding a T-post down with a sledgehammer, then use one of these, you will understand why those are so awesome. Next thing we have is our pallet. Pallets, we can use them for everything. If you saw the last video, we built a pallet shelter. Pallets are so useful for doing many things on the farm. And usually, people are giving them away. You can get them for free. And these last 2, Honorable mentions. I'm sure you all know what this is. Toilet brush. We use them when we head out and we change out the waters. We clean out the dirt and everything that's in the bottom of the water pan. And anytime we're cleaning something, we use the toilet brush. We just throw it right on the golf cart. Toilet brush is on honorable mention. And the last thing, some of you probably don't know what this is. This is a tick tornado. You take that and you slide it up under the tick and you start twisting and pull the tick right out. We have got a lot of ticks around this time of year. The chickens do a great job with the pigs, but every once in a while we find them on there, especially on the pigs we don't have chickens in with yet. So whenever we're giving them belly rubs, we use that tick tornado to pull out ticks. And then we take Scotch tape and we put that tick in the Scotch tape and close it off so it can't get away. It's an endless job and you can never keep up, but we get as many as we can see when we're out there petting the pigs, and that follows us around on the golf cart every time we're out. So those are our honorable mention lists. If you can think of anything else that you think would go on a most essential list for items to use on your farm, we had number 1, buckets, 2, housing, 3, fencing, 4 was feeders, 5 was a wheelbarrow, 6 was wagon or golf cart to help you get those things moved around the farm. If you think of anything that's something we left off, I'm sure there's a million things that could go on this list. Put them down in the comments and let's see what you guys use at your farms that is super efficient and helpful that you're using every day on your farm. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up to like the videos. Check us out on Instagram, and we will see you guys on the next video.